I am walking on water. The wind is smacking me offensively across my face. The sky intimidates me with its darkness. I try to stay focused on him and use all my strength to push through, but his light grows dimmer as my eyes glance for just a second beside him. Suddenly, the intention of the darkness pulls me to cower at the reality around me. My neck curls around to take in the intense immensity of the storm that I'm smack dab in the middle of. My eyes widen and my ears ring, and it feels like all of my senses are multiplied, like every feeling and sensation is turned on high as I realize where I am. I scan the ground and I grow terrified, thinking of what creatures lying below me and what could swallow me up at any moment. I hear Andrew behind me screaming for me. I hear his terror for me in his voice, and it frightens me more. A thought takes my mind captive. Will I leave him brotherless? I immediately want to turn around. Why did I have to step out? Why did I have to test of him? I should have stayed in the boat where I could be sure it was safe. Suddenly, my legs begin to drop. The one steady surface that I was standing on now lowers below my foot, and I feel the water creep higher and higher on my legs. My heart pounds like a beating drum, trying to be heard by the audience around me. My breath becomes fast, so fast I can no longer catch it, like the literal breath is escaping out of my mouth. The shouts behind me grow louder and more scared. I glance at Jesus and I think for a second. Why did he call me out? Only to drown me? Suddenly, whatever last bit of ground I was fighting to keep grasp of fell out in a swift instant below me, and I plunged into the dark, deep waters. Before the sea swallowed my face, my arms and legs flailed. If I could cry without my tears being swept away by the shallows, I would have. The last bit of breath within me, though it was my lifeline, felt like it was choking me. I could hear the splashes of my brother's paddles over yonder from me, frantically trying to make their way over. Panic rose from within me, and I let out my last breath in a muted shriek that's volume was lost, muted by the bigger ocean that swallowed its plea to survive. I was completely submitted to the dark sea and its mercy. This moment moved so fast that it felt like I was down there for a year until my efforts to fight ceased as a revelation of great light shined through the darkness of the murky waters, and I saw his hand descend to grab mine. The relief that was his touch amidst the movement that felt as if I'd never see life again. Immediately, I gripped him back as my body instinctively knew his hand was my only way of survival. All the strength that I was using to fight the currents pulling me down completely fell away from me as I fully submitted to his hand pulling me up. As I rose closer to the surface, his face grew clearer. At this moment, there was no one I would have wanted more to pull me out of the water. My fight or flight fell from below me as quickly as my feet did from above the water. It was as if my body knew and responded to his presence, his touch, his gripping arm, and surrendered to it. Despite the enraging storm still occurring, I've never felt this kind of security in my life.